the Indians are a little bit past the quarter pole of the season, kind of slogging along at 500. And I was sort of looking at things to say, all right, I know the Indians' bullpen is bad. Yeah, right. Really got to be a baseball genius to figure that out. And I just wanted to compare it to last year. Well, last year, the Indians' bullpen ranked #1 in the American League. They had a 2.89 ERA, 2.89 ERA. This year, heading into the weekend, that ERA is 5.68. 5.68. In other words, they've nearly doubled their ERA. And guess what? They went from #1 in the American League to dead last in the American League. And that also leads to a lot of ulcers. I was going to say Terry Francona losing his hair, but he doesn't have any hair to begin with, so that's gone. But when you are managing a team that's supposed to contend like the Indians, and you look out in the bullpen, and you see Zach McAllister with his 7 ERA, and Dan Otero with his 7 ERA, and you're looking for Nick Goody, but he's on the disabled list because he's had some arm problems. And then for a while, you're looking for Andrew Miller, but he was out with a hamstring problem. And frankly, since he's come back heading into the weekend, he's really struggled. He's only pitched 3 times, about 1 2/3 innings. He's walked 4 guys. He's had a problem. Cody Allen has gotten worn out. They're bringing in players to help in the bullpen, guys I have never heard of or been around. They're just picking them up from other teams, you know, trying to kind of, as they say, glue something together here. And anybody you talk to in baseball will tell you, if they've ever been a pitching coach or especially a manager, well, a bad bullpen just makes you look like an idiot no matter what you do. Now, the other flip side of this is the Indian starters, holding up the ball again, their ERA is 3.42. 3.42. That actually is better than a year ago when they were 3.52. So in other words, the starting pitching is slightly better than a year ago, and they rank #1 among starting pitching in the American League. So you got the best starters and you got the worst bullpen. It's almost like, you know how you get to 500? That's exactly it. Now, grabbing the bat, and I hope Jason Kipnis does grab a bat pretty soon because, boy, was I wrong on this one. I thought Kipnis would come out and start to hit. He's finally was healthy in spring training or whatever. He's rolling into the weekend hitting 174. It's with 1 home run. It really looks bad. Edwin Encarnación, I know he's supposed to hit when the weather warms up. Well, Edwin, the weather is warming up. You know, you've been stuck on 202 for a long, long time. And we all know on the good side that Jose Ramirez and Francisco Lindor, they would be right up there with Aaron Judge and all the other top home run hitters in the American League. This is why sometimes baseball will drive you crazy. You don't see those things. I think a lot of us were concerned when the Indians brought back Michael Brantley. How will he play and could he stay healthy? Well, so far, it's early still, but so far he's been extremely productive as a hitter. And you look at that, he's hitting .338 going into the weekend, 6 home runs, basically almost in the middle of every rally. So far, the surgically repaired ankle's held up. So that's been, you know, when you look at some good stuff, Brantley's been good. Lindor and Ramirez have been good. Ron Gomes is hitting .255. That's pretty good. But, you know, I was hoping that Yonder Alonso, by the way, would hit a little better. This is something for Terry Francona. Quit playing him against lefties. He hit 189 against lefties last year. He's hitting like 170 against lefties. He's a left-handed hitter. This is left-handed. Not so good against left-handed. Stop. Don't do this anymore. It hurts too much. You know, the old thing, it hurts when I sit on my hand. Well, don't sit on your hand. So that would be just a suggestion there. But the biggest challenge for the front office and the Indians is to, you know, they've got to find some help in the bullpen. Now, in spring training, there was a kid that really impressed. Cameron Hill. I saw him pitch a couple times. Terry Francona fell in love with him. In fact, at the end of spring training, I wrote, if there was a guy that could come up really fast and help the Indians, Cameron Hill. Unfortunately, right in the waning days of spring training, when he was getting ready to go to AAA Columbus, he hurt his arm. Well, Hill is just coming back right now, and we'll see how he pitches. You know, then we have the never-ending Danny Salazar. Still in Goodyear. He got some treatment on his arm. I don't know. You know, you'd like to think Salazar's arm will get well enough that he'd come in and at least pitch a few innings in relief. Certainly that would help. By the way, Danny Salazar, you know, he's on a one-year contract. Production would be a good idea for him to get paid next year, but I don't even know what to say about Salazar again for next year. So, you know, right now I mean, I wish there were some of these other guys. Brandon Geyer's been hitting 170, and Brad Zimmer's hitting around 220 and that. But really the thing that's cost the Indians the most has been a complete and total bullpen collapse, which, because there's so many guys pitching so poorly, is very hard to fix. The good news is the starting pitchers are rolling along. I mean, right now you look at Corey Kluber, 2.3 ERA, and Trevor Bauer, 2.5 ERA, and Mike Clevenger, 2.7 ERA. Carlos Carrasco, 3.5 ERA. The only guy who's been struggling there is Josh Tomlin. I would actually put Tomlin in the bullpen, and I would bring up probably Adam Plutko from the minors, let him go take a shot in the rotation just to try to get a different arm in there. But so in terms of the Indians, I actually think some of the bats and things will come around, but the bullpen scares me to death.